Warning: the following content may contain spoilers for film and television programs. It is also intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Welcome all of you Seeites. It is episode 40 of the See It podcast, your number one stop for all things film and television news, facts, and opinions. I am one of your hosts, Andrew Ormsby, joined as always by the heartwarming and lovely Shelby Ammerman.
Hey.
And the King of the Doldrums, Brian Vaughn.
Whatever.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing alright.
Doing alright?
Yeah, it's one of those days.
You're heading out of town.
Yeah.
You're heading up to the Great White North, Columbia, Missouri.
I was like, I don't know if that's great.
There's probably White Walkers there. And
probably White Walkers, yes. Mm-hmm. Got to be wary. Oh, she doesn't watch Game of Thrones.
Nope, I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep referencing it then.
Exactly. Okay. Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, it's Saturday, so I could be worse, like if it were Monday through Friday until 4:30.
Mm-hmm. Zach couldn't join us today because he's being selfish and putting his family before us. What an asshole. Well, let's start today off with the Did You See That film opinion of the week. It's my week. So the movie that I watched is an Australian film called These Final Hours. It was directed and written by a guy named Zach Hilditch. He did some little indie movies I'd never even heard of. Plume Roll, The Toll, and Transmission. Yeah, they didn't even have pictures whenever I looked them up on IMDb. It's one of those films.
I was going to say I've not even read any of those before, like the names.
The movie stars Nathan Phillips, Angry Rice, David Field, Jessica DeGao, and Sarah Snook.
Angry Rice?
Angry Rice.
Oh, man.
Which I think is actually a type of rice.
That would have been way better.
Yeah. Sarah Snook, she's the redheaded girl in Predestination. I don't know if you saw that film or not.
I haven't. I wanted to, but then you guys kind of dampened my enthusiasm for it, so I haven't watched it.
Okay. The plot of this movie is an asteroid has crashed into Earth, and it is wiping out all of life. The blast wave is making its way towards Australia, where this movie takes place, and it'll be there in 12 hours, and it's going to kill everybody. There's no escaping it. A man decides to help this little girl find her dad so she can be with him in the end. The pros of this movie, the feeling of hopelessness in this is very palpable. Like, you realize from the get-go, there's nothing anybody can do. Like, everybody's like, yeah, we're in 12 hours, we're all going to be dead. And it's very depressing. The main actor, Nathan Phillips, he does a really good job. He gives a really good performance. And the thing with this movie is it's terrifying to see how people, when all hope is gone, what they turn into. They either turn into sex-crazed maniacs, they turn into just frivolous, like, killing without a whim because what's the point? You know, we're all going to die. What people would do when they know in 12 hours nothing matters. What they do is just freaky as hell. The cinematography in this movie is beautiful, even in this barren wasteland. They're still able to find beauty. The cons of this movie I found, the performance of the little girl was a bit lacking, but then again, it's difficult to find a good child actor to pull off a role like this, you know?
Yeah, something with any weight to it.
Exactly. There's no love in this movie. And by that I mean, when a character runs into their family member, when they know it's the last time they're going to see him, it's like they don't get it.
Comes across really stiff.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would be fairly realistic, though, that you wouldn't necessarily be able to really get your arms around the fact that everyone really is going to die.
I don't know if it was just like their family dynamic or something. I just felt it was weird.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Mom, we're leaving. Okay. Really?
See you in hell.
Moms would be like, no, you come here.
Yeah,
no, I'm holding you for the next 12 hours.
Exactly. That's what I was expecting, but like, hey, can I bum a cigarette off you? Yeah, here you go. All right, we'll see you. That's pretty close to what happened in the movie. Final thoughts. This is one of the most depressing movies I have ever seen in my life. Nothing good happens to anyone throughout this entire film. It's on par with The Road as one of the saddest movies I have ever seen, but that does not mean that it's not a good movie. I still enjoyed being taken on an emotional roller coaster, so if you ever find yourself having having too good of a day.
Well, hello there.
If you ever find yourself having too good of a day and you want your joy to be knocked down a few pegs, I recommend this movie. It'll definitely get the job done. And it is, for sure, a see it. All right. So the next segment that we're going to move on to is the news. Brian, would you mind reading off the news segments for
I
this
wouldn't
week?
mind reading the news segments.
Thank you.
So, up first, Marion Cotillard, which I guess it's Cotillard or something. I don't know.
Cotillard. The D is silent.
I am white and from America.
Marion Cotillard
Has joined the cast of the upcoming film adaptation of Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed games. It is not clear, however, which character Marion will be portraying. We've talked about this before, but Michael Fassbender will be the lead, and the film will also have Justin Kurzel as its director.
First-time director. This is actually his first thing
Kurzel.
ever.
Before this, he worked at Hardee's.
Yes.
I would actually really like to see the film for Assassin's Creed games. I've watched Assassin's Creed, like them being played.
This is really
That's
funny
really
because me
interesting.
too, because I don't really play any games, but I watch
Yeah.
people play them sometimes.
And
So same
Assassin's
thing.
Creed has a really good plot line to just
Yeah.
sit there and watch like a movie. And I love that Michael Fassbender will be playing the main character.
What I hope, what they do in the games, I don't know if you guys know the full dynamic of the video
I
games,
have
but
no clue.
it takes place in modern times. But what this guy does is they hook him up to a machine, and he goes back and he visits his ancestors.
Yeah, as them, right?
As
Like,
them. Like,
Yeah.
So I hope they don't do that, because that would just be too confusing. I
Yeah,
hope they either
I-
stick with either the modern times, which I don't think would be as good as like going back to the medieval time or the Renaissance time.
You can't get quite as goofy in a 2-hour movie as you can in a video game.
Because a video game can last up to like 15
Yeah.
hours of gameplay.
Yeah, and if you read the plot synopsis for just about any video game, there's something in it that's just silly.
Yeah.
But it isn't in the context of playing it. But if
Yeah.
you were just watching a movie,
Which Assassin's Creed just came out on the Xbox One?
That was the French Revolution one.
Yes, I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
That one was the one that I watched. I honestly haven't seen anybody play the other ones.
That was
but
the one that had the Lord, Everybody Wants to Rule the World cover.
oh yeah,
That's actually
Yeah.
a pretty good cover.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I really like.
I've
that
heard
game.
worse covers.
Yes. All right.
Next up in the news, Dave Bautista of Guardians of the Galaxy and wrestling fame is set to play Kurgan in the Highlander reboot.
Thank God.
Highlander, as most of you know, did win, in fact, the award for the greatest movie of all time.
Yes.
Clancy Brown originally played Kurgan in the 1986 film. Maybe he'll make a cameo. I don't know. But they won't both be able to play Kurgan because, as we know, there can be only one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're old enough to get that reference
Oh, yeah.
of Highlander,
Oh, I'm old
Christopher
enough.
Lambert, and Sean Connery.
Although I was like 1 when this came out, but I mean, I did see it
I-
later.
did come out in
Small assistant,
1986,
I don't even know what
yeah.
he's talking about.
Yeah, nobody was even thinking about
You don't know what Highlander
having
is?
Shelby.
All right. Brian, do you want to explain what the greatest movie of all time is about?
Hold on, before I wanted to point out that I was just going to point out really quick that like Shelby's parents hadn't even probably considered doing each other yet. when
Yeah.
Highlander.
They
came
were
out.
married. They were married a year before I was born.
So they probably didn't even know each
So-
other.
Wow, your parents didn't even know each other when Highlander came
How
out.
old are your parents? Like our age?
Oh, God.
My mom's 46 and my dad is like 44.
Okay,
So your
they're-
parents have 15 years on us.
they're too young to be our parents though.
Yes.
Not technically biologically they're not.
Yeah.
I've gotten very sidetracked.
Socially, it would have been awkward.
Yeah. So Highlander, there's a dude and a sword, and he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was a Scottish Highland, or like the clansman, like
He wandered the-
Braveheart days,
Yeah.
but he's immortal. He can't die. And the only way for him to continue to live is he has to cut the heads off other immortals.
But he has to have that sword.
But he has to have that sword. It's a special sword.
He won it in a Cheerios box.
He won it from Sean Connery. He really did win it from Sean Connery. You know what?
No, I know who Sean
Okay.
Connery is.
Okay, I was about to throw my microphone.
No,
Yeah.
my grandma has the biggest crush on him.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
I know
Yeah,
who
really.
Sean Connery is.
Whose
That's-
grandma doesn't?
He also played James Bond, am
Yes.
I right? Yes, all of these things.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, like, who's his character in the show?
He was the guy who taught Christopher Lambert. Is it? Yeah, Christopher Lambert is Highlander, right?
Clancy Brown.
No, Clancy Brown was Kurgan,
No.
who is the bad guy.
Yeah, I don't know who actually played.
It's
the
Christopher
Highlander.
Lambert,
See,
that's who it
I
is.
thought Kurgan was the good guy reading this
No.
news piece.
No, he's
No,
the
So
villain.
now I know-
Kurgan's bad.
And Dave Bautista... Sorry. And Dave Bautista... It's all wrinkled and it's...
It was just coming across on the microphone.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
Dave Bautista, he's the one that was in Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah. He was Drax the Destroyer.
Let's hope he can't pull off his finishing maneuver on the Highlander.
Yeah, what
That
was
would
his
ruin.
finishing move
I
in the
don't know.
WWE?
I don't
They
know.
all have one. Like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, there's a
Finish you.
and then
I'll
they
look it
have
up.
to do it. Yeah, there's a voice that goes around.
RKO.
But no, I would actually be interested in seeing a Highlander reboot because
I will watch it.
that was the movie my dad watched all the time when we were growing up.
I saw it at least a couple of times.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
should probably watch it again as an adult.
But as I was saying, there's Highlanders. They have to cut the heads off other immortals to stay alive, and it's down to only 2. And there can be only 1. He had the
Which is
weirdest
true.
voice. Christopher Lambert did, the
Yeah,
guy in the
he
original
did.
Highlander. Because he also played Raiden in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I regrettably did see.
What? The movie was awesome!
I did not.
All right, what's up next in the news?
I also saw a movie for another video game. I wish I could remember what it was. I hope I do by the end of this episode. Because
Hitman, we just watched a trailer.
No,
for it.
but it was like a straight to video, like worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, it was probably a U-Bowl movie because he's infamous for making videos.
Probably
movies.
Oh
out of
no,
video
no, no!
games.
It was literally Tekken, the movie,
Oh, yeah.
and it was
atrocious.
like one time my dog, like I kind of left out some Taco Bell I didn't eat, and my dog ate that, and then took a runny shit that looked like sand from the desert, like in separate piles, and cleaning that up was more fun than watching Tekken.
Batista's delivering, or his finishing move is the Batista bomb.
The
Batista bomb. I love it.
And
You don't know when it'll
the
go off.
sit-down power bomb. That's what it...
The
Okay.
Batista sit-down powerbomb.
Now we know. We are educated. He also has perhaps the most effeminate tattoo ever, which is the circle around the belly button.
Wasn't he in that? It was RZA. You know the.
Oh, yeah.
He did that movie, The Man with the Iron
a-
Fists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Dave Bautista. He was in that too. He was the freaking brass guy, the guy who was made of brass metal.
You know that he was part of the Wu-Tang Clan.
RZA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they ain't nothing to fuck with. Moving on to news items that do not involve wrestling or rappers.
Wrestling.
Probably. James Franco has been cast in Hulu's upcoming series 11/22/63. The series is based on a novel by Stephen King, which is about a time traveler who goes back into time, which is what they usually do,
Yes.
to stop the JFK assassination.
It was a really good book.
I did not read it. It is on
I
my
have
Kindle,
not
though.
read it either.
No,
Read
I'm a
it.
big Stephen King fan.
I am too, yeah. I will get around to it.
Yeah.
I like James
never read any of
Franco
his
also.
books.
Really?
Really?
I have a lot of them. They're like,
Just read The Shining only at night and then try to live
Yeah.
after that.
that is a.
Well, it was a stupid movie.
It's way... Well, I like the movie, but the book is...
hated the
the
movie.
book is...
Terrifying and
it's-
creepy
Yeah,
and
it's
messed
ridiculous.
up. Another really good Stephen King. I'm just going through the iconic ones like Christine, It.
It's actually really good, yeah.
Pet
I've seen
Sematary.
it. I've seen a part Pet Cemetery, I think. But
Or
I've seen
some-
it, and that one scared me, but I was also really little.
Yeah.
What's the?
I was older when I watched The
Carrie.
Shining, and I
Carrie
just
was
read
his
on-
first book.
I love
Yeah,
Carrie.
Carrie was the
That was
first
his
book
first
he
book
wrote.
he ever
the
wrote.
new and the old movie. I've never read it.
The one has new one has Chloe Grace Moretz in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
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 And she does a really good job.
I just read Under the Dome.
Oh, I love that book. That's
Yeah.
one of my
It
favorites.
was really good.
Never even heard about it.
Took a
It's-
long time to
It's
read.
it's a really long
I've
book.
seen The
It's like
Mist.
1,500 pages.
The Mist is really
The
good.
Mist is awesome.
Under the Dome
Stupid
is
movie.
about
I
this.
like that movie.
I hated that movie.
Under the Dome is about this little town, like your average, like Republic here in Missouri. It's just a little town. All of a sudden, this giant dome lands over the town, and nobody can get in or out, and nothing can break the dome.
And everyone has an awesome name.
Yeah, everybody does have a really cool name in this little town. So, like, it's cut off from, and you can't see it. It's an invisible dome. So, like, cars will be driving along, and all of a sudden they'll just crash into it. And, like, birds will be flying.
And they have no idea why.
Yeah, nobody knows why. The government doesn't know who put this dome on. They try hitting it with missiles. Nothing can break the dome.
Is it an alien dome?
I don't want to spoil everything, but it's really cool. It is really cool.
Batista put it there.
Dave Batista.
Is it a movie?
He threw it over.
It
the
was
top.
actually the Batista bomb.
They made this. They made this into a TV series, which I hear is awful.
Yeah, I don't want to see it just because
Yeah.
I hear and I like the book so much.
So it's not a movie.
No,
It's a terrible TV show.
It's a terrible
Yeah.
TV show.
So I'm going to have to read the book.
Stephen King adaptations have not gone well, by and large.
In TV shows, no. But
Even
this
movies-
is a Hulu series.
Even movies, I
And James Franco's
really
in it.
have only liked The Shining and The Mist, both of which Shelby hates with a burning passion
I
that
don't
her
hate
parents
them
did
with
not
I
feel
don't
yet
hate them with a
until
burning
after
passion.
Highlander.
I just found The Shining, since it was such an old movie, and by the time I watched it, I was older. It didn't scare me.
Yeah.
It was just very cheesy, and I
See,
love,
like
I love Jack
I don't know. Green
Nicholson,
Mile was really good.
but
Green
I
Mile.
love Green Mile.
Yeah, there's another one that worked.
Green Mile was a Stephen King movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of his books.
I
He
didn't
wrote that.
know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a good movie. And
Frank
it's
Darabont-
heartwarming and sad.
Frank Darabont and Ron Howard, both those guys love
Yeah.
to do Stephen King novels.
Also, did Stephen King write The Shawshank Redemption?
Shawshank Redemption, yeah.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
You guys are blowing my mind right
I know.
now.
This is our old man knowledge that we're bringing down upon you
love
from the heavens.
I've been watching Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile since I was little
Yeah.
with my mom, and they're such great movies.
Well, it was
I have no idea.
Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption. It was a short story, is what Stephen King. It was a short story that Frank Darabont and Stephen King wrote into a full-length screenplay.
Nice.
But James Franco and this Hulu series, yeah,
It's probably gonna be pretty good.
I'm interested to see what they can do with it.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little.
Yeah,
bit like
I
Doctor
will.
Who,
I'll end up
probably.
watching it. I'll probably read the book first, as I am wont to do.
Yes.
In somewhat weird and era-defining news here, this past week, Jon Stewart announced that he plans on leaving The Daily Show at the end of this year. There's no word yet whether there will be a replacement for Stewart or if the show will simply end.
It came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like he
nowhere at all.
with Frank or Colbert, he was leading into it like,
Yeah.
hey, I might be the guy to take over the Late Show with Leno or the Tonight Show. I can't remember. I get those
David
mixed up.
Letterman's, whatever his is what he's taking over.
Yeah, David Letterman, whatever it is. But yeah, Jon Stewart is out of nowhere. Is like, guys, I'm not going to be doing it anymore. End of the year.
So they probably should just end it, in my opinion.
I've never seen The Daily Show, so
I love the Daily Show.
Yeah, I haven't watched it in years, but I used to watch it all the time.
I
Yeah,
don't watch shows like that.
Because it's a satirical news show, which I can't watch something like that every day. But it really did break some ground there. Also, Comedy Central has like 8 of those, so can't they just
Yeah.
I don't
slot
watch
one of them
Comedy
up?
Central.
John
You know,
Oliver or something?
John Oliver's Last Week Tonight show.
Yeah,
is
can't they just
awesome.
give him the better time slot then?
No, dude, he needs to stick with his HBO show because it is freaking great. I love it.
I didn't even know it was on HBO. So
No, it's an HBO show.
yeah, I've only seen a couple of episodes. I assumed it was Comedy Central only because John Oliver having the history with them,
Yeah.
but I did
Well, it
not
makes
know
sense to jump to that conclusion.
that. Yeah, I did it on the Jump to Conclusions mat that I created.
Is that your finishing move?
That's my finishing move.
Jump to conclusion.
Jump to conclusions. Okay, the biggest news that everyone's probably heard by now, Sony has made a deal with Marvel Entertainment to bring Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What this means is Spider-Man will be able to take part in Avenger films, of which there will surely be 39.
Yes.
But with this news, we can also speculate that Andrew Garfield will be out as Spider-Man and someone else will be cast for this purpose. No one's really been mentioned. There's a lot of clamoring for Donald Glover, formerly of Community and of the rapper career Childish Gambino.
Yes.
So fans would like to see that. Because who doesn't want a black Spider-Man?
Well,
spiders are mostly black.
there is there's the newer Spider-Man comics. They actually designed the new Spider-Man guy after Donald Glover. So the Spider-Man that's in the comics right now is black, and he's based off the look of Donald Glover.
I don't know how I feel about Spider-Man being 5'7" or whatever.
Well, just watch any Tom Cruise movie.
By
and
the way,
imagine that he's not as tall as he is portrayed. You know.
By the way, I have absolutely no idea how tall Donald Glover is. He just looks short to me.
I love Andrew Garfield, and I'm gonna be.
He did a good job. He did a really good job.
Yeah,
I'm not
he
gonna
was
lie.
fine with those movies,
Yeah.
which
I'm
is
really
all I
sad.
can
I
say
love
about
him.
those movies.
But I did learn a lot about Marvel this past week because this guy
Yeah,
that I work with named
that's-
Dylan, he's a writing tutor. He was all over this, so I learned Spider-Man's whole backstory.
People
Well,
are
you also
really into
work
that
with the
stuff.
Professor James Ackerman, and
Yeah,
when
I
he's
don't-
not talking about DC, I'm sure he's either talking about zombies or Marvel movies.
No, not so much. I mostly talked to him about work.
Oh, you're
Well,
missing
That's
out
a
on
boring topic.
yeah, you're missing out on a gold mine of entertainment right there at your fingertips.
Although I'm like so deficient in any comic book or I like steer clear of that stuff on purpose because it never is gratifying to me. But that's kind of my role. Like Shelby's the heartwarming person that likes romantic
And you're the
comedies.
cynical.
Yeah, I'm like
terrible,
I
awful
like
person.
off-putting dramas and things like that. So
Speaking of
And an egotistical
heartwarming-
narcissist,
right.
Speaking of heartwarming romantic movies,
which is a redundancy.
I saw a movie this
Yeah, I
weekend,
guess it is.
or this week with a guy who looks like Hugh Jackman and Andrew Garfield if you smashed them together.
Ugh.
No, he's really
So a
cute.
normal-sized man
He's really cute. It's called Barefoot.
Barefoot?
That has
with an EA or an
no
ARE.
ARE.
Damn it.
Barefoot. And
I was really hoping B-E-A-R.
has Rachel Lee Wood in it.
Oh, what happened to her? I guess that happened to her.
She's super cute.
Rachel Lee Wood. Is she who I'm thinking of?
She's the reason why it's called.
Evan Rachel, and from that Edward Norton movie where he has a problem. Down in the Valley. She was in that. Evan Rachel Wood.
I can kind of see it. Scott Speedman.
Scott
Especially
Speedman.
when-
What else is he in?
Especially if he's in when you're
Is he
watching
in X-Men?
Barefoot, he has the scruff that kind
Yeah.
of makes him look like Hugh Jackman, but then he has Andrew Garfield's like nose.
He was in The Strangers,
Haven't seen that.
Good Neighbors.
I have seen The Strangers. Is that with Liv Tyler?
Yeah,
Yes. Is he the husband?
I think so, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I knew I'd seen him in something.
He was in Underworld, and I'm sure you saw him in Triple X
Is he
State of the
Michael?
Union.
Of
with Ice
course
Cube.
I did.
Is he Michael
In what?
in Underworld?
Underworld, he is Michael. Yeah. So in all the Underworld
That
movies,
makes me love Barefoot so
Aren't there like
much
70 of
more.
those?
there's probably, I think, they're actually
Wow.
rebooting Underworld series.
Why? Are people watching those? I guess they are.
He didn't even look he didn't look the
Shelby's
same
still
as,
blown away over
I
that.
am blown away by the fact that he's Michael, because Michael and this guy don't look anything alike in these movies. You gotta watch Barefoot and tell me I'm not crazy.
I still can't. It's a missed opportunity
I
that
love
it's
him.
not Bear BEAR.
I want to watch that movie. It would be
Yeah.
about a coworker that we used to have named Larry.
Larry does
Well-
have bare feet.
I
Well-
killed a bear, sawed off its foot, and wore it around my neck as
This
a
movie
treasure.
is about a guy who's in trouble and goes home to his rich family to get money and needs someone to pose as his nurse girlfriend, so he gets a patient from the psychiatric hospital that he works at for probation and takes her to meet his family. And she doesn't like shoes because they hurt her feet.
What I
So she's
took out
always
of that
barefoot.
is a weird, deep-seated desire to have a rich family I could ask for money.
God, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, wouldn't that be
that
awesome?
would be so freaking good. We
Okay,
would
but
actually have decent equipment
they
for our
fall in love and
podcast.
she's
We
not
would have
crazy.
whatever we wanted.
Yeah,
That's all I want to say.
we would have a video
If you're
podcast
romantic,
so
you love
people could
this
see our
movie.
handsome
a
and
vidcast.
beautiful faces. All right, guys, I think it's time to move on to trailer talk.
Okay.
And then after that, Shelby's going to let us know what we can spend our hard-earned money on. So, the first trailer we're going to talk about is Guy Ritchie's new movie, The Man from UNCLE. Guy Ritchie, of course, gave us Snatch, Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, and the Sherlock Holmes movies, the ones that have Robert Downey Jr., not the Benedict Cumberbatch show. This movie stars Armie Hammer, Harry Cavill, Hugh Grant, Jared Harris, Dave Beckham, and Alicia Vikander. The plot of this movie is in the 1960s. A CIA operative must team up with his KGB counterpart to stop a nuclear war. I'm going to see it solely for the fact that it's a Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, I'll see it. It looks fun.
Yeah. Armie Hammer's really good actor. I really liked him in The Social Network.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it takes itself too seriously. Looks like it's, despite the subject matter.
Yeah.
It's not a heavy-handed action movie. Doesn't look like it. Looks fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board to see this. What do you think, Shelby?
Yeah, totally. I really loved that trailer, and I love all of the actors in it. I'm super excited for it.
I don't know what David Beckham's going to be in this movie, but
Soccer ball kicker.
Yeah,
There's a designated role for that.
he's going to bend it, I guess. All right, the next movie up, Hitman, Agent 47. It's directed by Alexander. That's actually how you pronounce it, not Alexander.
Yeah,
Alexander Bach. This is his first major debut. It's written by Kyle Ward, who gave us the beautiful movie Machete Kills.
Just as beautiful as Danny Trejo is physically.
Yes. This movie This movie stars Rupert Friend, Zachary Quinto, nobody knows how you say it, Ciarán Hinds, and Hannah Ware. Rupert Friend, he is in Homeland, and the plot of this movie is an elite assassin tries to find the man who created the organization he works for. It's based on the Hitman video games. I guess they're forgetting that Hitman movie with Timothy Olyphant because it was pretty bad. This movie doesn't look too terrible. It looks like it could be good, or it looks like it could be just as bad as the first one. It can go
when
either
I was
way.
just talking about the last trailer and how it looks like it's fun and it's not heavy-handed. This one looks kind of heavy-handed.
Yeah.
Like it's a big explosion, boom, there's a bus in a building, somebody else is driving a car, and then there's a car chase, and then someone drives that into an ocean, and a whale erupts and turns into Godzilla. I just can't take any more movies like that. I'm done with it. I'm an adult.
I want to see it because it looks like it might be funny. Especially
like over the top, or
yeah, definitely over the top. But
I'm all for that.
Especially where he's like, no, sir, you're trapped in this room with me, and you just brought me mine.
Which they totally stole that line from Watchmen. I'm just going to point that
I
out
haven't
completely.
Seen Watchmen.
Yeah.
Wait,
I'm not locked in here
Watchmen.
with you. You're locked in here with me.
Watchmen has Morris Moss in it, right? From the IT Crowd.
Does it?
I don't remember that.
No,
all I know is the guy who played the new Freddy Krueger is in it.
I might be talking about The Watch.
Jackie Earle Haley.
You're thinking of The Watch.
Yep.
No,
yeah.
Watchmen is a superhero movie.
Yep, no, haven't seen that one.
A DC
I've seen The Watch
movie, as we found
Watchmen.
out the other week.
Yeah.
All right, the next movie up is Cut Bank, directed by Matt Shakman, who gave us, I think 35 episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And then he was, 1 or 2 time director for a bunch of other shows like House and shows like that. This movie is written by Roberto Patino, who gave us a bunch of episodes of Sons of Anarchy and a bunch of episodes of Prime Suspect. This movie stars Teresa Palmer, Liam Hemsworth, Billy Bob Thornton, John Malkovich, Bruce Dern, Oliver Platt, and Michael Stuhlbarg. The plot of this is a young man accidentally films a murder and must now hide from the killer.
I will see the shit out of this.
This movie looks so freaking good.
Looks like a Coen Brothers movie.
It does look. It kind of reminded me of a mixture between No Country for Old Men and Fargo.
Yeah, it has that same that whole weird small town, everyone's kind of got their own agenda, but no one knows what they're doing kind of a thing going on.
Yeah.
I love that. It's my favorite. This is one of my favorite little things anyone does.
And the guy who plays the villain, Michael Stuhlbarg, with the creepy glasses.
Yeah, what's with that guy?
He's terrifying looking. He looks like Milton from Office Space gone.
The whole trailer, I
deep
kept
end.
thinking, what the fuck is that guy's deal?
He just wants his parcel.
I just want my parcel.
Parcel. Yeah, he's going to be creepy as shit.
I do want to see this movie, and I do like all of the actors in it. This is the second movie of Liam Hemsworth's that I've seen where he is doing something that he's not supposed to be doing to get money that is illegal and trying to get around it and not get caught.
The first one being, of course, Hunger Games.
No, I can't remember what that movie's called.
Titanic.
He works for Armored Truck Service, and his friend, His friend plays in Sky High. It's like an old superhero movie where they go to high school for superheroes.
Armored Tree works for an Armored...
Paranoia, Empire State, Love and Honor. Oh, it was The Expendables 2.
No,
what was he doing
song,
in that?
no, it wasn't the last song. It was.
Triangle.
I think it came after the last song.
Knowing.
No, it has to be one of the first two. You said,
Knowing absolutely has Nicolas Cage in it.
Oh my god. Independence Day 2, of course.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's got to be it.
No,
Shelby's already seen it.
You guys.
I'm going to put my money on either Paranoia or Empire State as a movie that you're talking about.
I want to.
Yeah, because I don't know what those are.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. It has Michael Angarano.
That doesn't sound like a human
He's
name.
also-
Yeah,
Red
I thought you were having a stroke in the middle of
Yeah.
that name, Michael. Grrr.
His last name. It's
Somebody
Empire
put a wallet in
State.
him.
It's Empire State.
There we
Empire
go.
State. Okay.
with
there we
The
go.
Rock.
Dwayne The Rock
Dwayne
Johnson.
The Rock Johnson?
So many wrestlers today.
Oh, it's based on a true story.
Is it now?
It is.
Okay.
Our next movie stars Stone Cold Steve Austin and a band of raccoons.
Nice. But the next movie is called How Ha. It's directed and written by Alessandro Alonso. He gave us a bunch of Latin movies like Liverpool, Fantasma, and Los Muertos.
The Dead.
Yes. This movie stars Viggo Mortensen and then a bunch of Dutch and Argentinian actors. The plot of this is a Dutch father in the Old West tries to find his lost daughter in a mysterious desert. Like, it has sort of a semi-supernatural kind of feel to it. Like,
Yeah, I feel like there's something else to it.
yeah.
I don't know what.
Okay, so was that girl talking to him? That was his daughter that's missing, and he's
Yeah.
hallucinating, or
I think
Well,
it's
he
just the
loses
beginning.
her. He loses her in the beginning, and then after that, he goes into the desert to find her, and just a bunch of weird stuff happens. Viggo Mortensen, I've found out his father's from Denmark, and after high school, he moved back there, so he does speak Danish,
Huh.
and he speaks French and Spanish as well.
Weird.
Yeah,
damn,
Very small penis.
trilingual,
yeah, found that on Eastern Promises.
quadring.
But kudos to him for going ahead and
Saying, "Screw it, let's
yeah,
do this."
I'll fight in the shower and my penis won't even get in the way.
Yeah,
Wait, what are you guys talking about?
you
Viggo
see,
Mortensen's
you see
penis.
Viggo Mortensen nude.
It's just
No.
a normal
Eastern
thing to
Promises.
talk about.
And Eastern Promises.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
We were not impressed.
Yeah, it's not like Michael Fassbender or anything.
No, that's
Wait,
ridiculous.
where do you see him naked?
Shame. And it's
It won't excite you.
Can
That
you write
movie's
these movies
depressing.
down for me?
yeah, that movie is
There is no
that movie. He's a sex addict, and it's not like ooh, he's a sex. No, it's like oh, he's a sex addict. It's like really
That's one of those movies with lots of nudity where no one could possibly even want it to be happening.
Yeah.
Because it's so terrible. Like, it's a good movie, actually, but it's really bleak.
But back to How Ha.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It looks very unique, and the cinematography looks sort of a mixture between old western and something like There Will Be Blood or something.
Yeah.
How Ha in Spanish stands for the unfound.
Well, hopefully for Aragorn, that's not what actually happens by the end there.
Yes.
Hopefully she is found.
With the one ring.
To rule them all.
Yes. The next movie up is Beyond the Reach, directed by Jean-Baptiste Leonetti. This is his first major debut. Written by Steven Susco. He gave us The Grudge 1 and 2 and Texas Chainsaw 3D, so he has a great rap underneath him. This movie stars Michael Douglas, Jeremy Irving, Hannah Mangan, and Ronnie Cox. The plot of this is this billionaire goes out into the Mojave Desert to go on this game hunt, and he accidentally kills the guy, and Jeremy Irving plays Michael Douglas's trapper, and he's like, you can't tell anybody what I did, so I'm going to let you die out here in the Mojave Desert. But it turns out that
So
the
take
Mojave...
off all of your clothes.
Yeah, so the Mojave Desert, turns out, is Jeremy Irving's backyard. He knows where all the...
He
the
knows
tricks-
what to do.
Yeah. It looks kind of... It's kind of fun movie.
Yeah. It's an interesting gimmick.
Yeah.
If
It's a
they
live
play it
game.
upright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Live
apparently
game
Michael
type
Douglas
situation.
survived that lion attack and the ghosts in the darkness.
So he's fine from that, yeah.
Yeah, well, good.
And all that swinging around on vines from, like,
Romancing
Romancing
the
the
Stone.
Stone. Yeah.
And Jewel of the Nile.
I don't even give a shit. Those movies are really fun to watch.
They are so good.
Like-
Is Romancing the Stone the one where they
They're-
try and kill each other?
No, that's
No.
War of the Roses.
War of the Roses. I always get those mixed
No,
up.
Romancing the Stone's where they go on the treasure hunt, and then Jewel of the Nile is where they go on the treasure hunt again,
Yeah.
in a different place.
And then War of the Roses is where they say, screw
And-
it, and they try and kill each other.
Yeah, and Danny DeVito's in it,
He is in that
and
movie.
it's great.
The next and final movie that we're going to talk about is a movie called Straight Outta Compton. The movie I am actually the most excited for out of all these. It's directed by F. Gary Gray. He gave us The Negotiator, A Man Apart, The Italian Job, and Law Abiding Citizen.
Great resume.
Blah, blah. I'm suffering from Andrew's problem now. It's early yet.
It is really
Boys.
early, and I've been tongue-tied all day.
The
I'm sorry.
Negotiator is kind of underrated. That's all I wanted to say, and it took me 20 minutes to say it.
It's a really good movie. Sam Jackson and Kevin Spacey,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I liked it a lot. Where a negotiator must negotiate with another negotiator.
And it turns out there are no snakes anywhere in the building.
Not one goddamn snake. Or motherfucking snake, as I
it
should
would be.
say.
Yeah.
This movie is written by Andrea Burloff, World Trade Center. Hopefully she's making up for that movie with this one. This movie stars Paul Giamatti, Alexandra Shipp, Keith Stanford, Kerry Hawkins, and O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Stanfield.
What?
Belated
Said Keith
correction.
Stanford. It's Stanfield.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about O'Shea Jackson Jr., which is Ice Cube Jr., for those of you who don't know. And Tyron Woodley, who I'm actually friends with on Twitter. He is a UFC fighter. I don't know what he's going to be in this movie.
What is with all these fighters, or pseudo-fighters, being in movies?
Tyron Woodley is from St. Louis. Really cool guy. You guys should follow him at T Woodley on Twitter. He's a really fun guy to talk to.
I had no idea that anything.
The plot of this movie is the story of the historic rap group NWA, Niggas with Attitude, that revolutionized the hip-hop world in the 1980s.
Yeah, I will definitely
I didn't
see
even know
this.
NWA was a thing.
Oh, yeah, you had
I
like
didn't-
Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube.
Then again, that was a decade before my time, but
Yeah, all those guys came from NWA. Straight out of Compton.
Yeah, that's technically the exact location they came from.
Yeah.
Straight
which is
Outta
funny
Compton.
because in 22nd Jump Street,
Oh, yeah.
Queen
That,
Latifah.
Shelby's
Where are you guys
experiencing
from?
a thing that I still experience, but not as much now that I'm old, which is
Mine-
where you hear something and you think it's kind of funny or something, and then later the reference becomes clear.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
find something out. Yeah.
Exactly, and I experience that a lot, actually.
I still
But
do, honestly.
specifically with that, I thought that was really great.
Because my...
Well, I'm straight out of Compton, but my husband, he's from Ridgetown.
all right. Shelby, what can we spend our hard-earned money on? What's in the theaters this week?
Oh, let me see that. See, when you said that earlier, I didn't know what you were talking about.
She's just like, I don't know, Pop-Tart?
It's the Fairbairn forecast, ladies and gentlemen. What is in the theaters? Of course, the big one is 50 Shades of Grey.
God, nobody go see that. Nobody go see that for Valentine's Day.
That's
Did you
gotta-
go and see it or something?
No.
Oh, you just don't care.
Nobody.
about it.
That's stupid.
It has to be terrible. I read the first
Okay.
book because it was such a big ordeal. One of the worst written, major published novels I've ever
I
read.
have-
It's
haven't
Twilight
read-
fan fiction, so how could it be
Yeah,
good?
exactly.
Okay, I loved Twilight. I will not read the books, but I had someone
Also
someone
terrible.
that I worked with read a book, read one of the books
That's
just
what I
because
did.
she wanted to be able to say how terrible it was because people are like, "Yeah, I haven't read it, you can't say." And then she read it and she was like, "It's terrible.
It is awful.
It's
I also
awful.
read the first book for the same reason.
And not
Yes,
to mention-
whoever this is you're talking about is an awesome person because I thought I was the only person who would read out of spite. But yes, I will spend hours of my time so that I can rightfully say I hate something.
Not to mention the. Seriously, you didn't get Charlie Hunnam to play the main character?
Well, good for him that he dodged that
No,
bullet.
yeah, good for him, but it would have made the movie better.
Nice.
I guess.
With
Is there any
Charlie Hunnam?
salvaging that? There's no plot.
No.
Every woman in the world would love to see Charlie Hunnam in some kind of kinky situation. So it would have been good for the movie if Charlie Hunnam had been in it.
I don't know about you guys, but that's all my Facebook has been this week. There's the
Yeah,
statuses.
that's
Every
been it.
woman saying, "Oh,
50
can you wait
Shades
to go
of
see
Grey.
50 Shades of
Oh,
Grey?"
please.
It's been
It's like, no, how about you go see a real movie or something?
Yeah.
But
Well,
it's February, so not a lot of
I don't-
options there usually.
I don't even celebrate Valentine's Day. really.
I celebrate it in the
So-
traditional sense of like the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, you know?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, here's what's coming out.
Old
this week.
Capone.
Of course, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Which I do
I
want to see.
kind of do want to see that.
Something about that silly Brit bastard. He got rid of that stutter and he's no longer king.
Now he's confident and he can fight.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, Colin Firth is just pretty. Bridget Jones' Diary, all kinds of good romance.
He's
there.
classically handsome.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he looks
exactly the
he
perfect
looks
way to
like he
describe
would
that
have really done well with the ladies in 1927.
I think he'd do more well with the ladies the older he gets.
He has that retro handsome.
Honestly, he's got money, so he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. There's also The Last 5 Years with Anna Kendrick and Jeremy Jordan.
Oh, yeah. That was that little hipster movie that...
That little hipster movie.
What We Do in the Shadows, it says that it's in limited, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
they're...
Oh, The Last 5 Years is also limited.
They're doing a Kickstarter right now. I actually think the Kickstarter ended, but
yeah.
to get What We Do in the Shadows for a major release in theaters.
I hope that it is. I really enjoyed it.
Brian and I both have seen it. I think Shelby's seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh man, that movie's so freaking funny.
I laughed quite a bit in that.
Yeah. That was Tika Wadawadi and Jermaine Clement, the Flight of the Conchords guys. Well, Taika is the guy who directed all the episodes.
The Flight of the Conchords. Brett and Jermaine are going to apparently do at least some sort of a tour this year,
Really?
and we should go to that if that happens.
Oh, absolutely. I'm on board.
I've always wanted to see that.
Yeah,
happen.
that'd be
Okay.
great. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, no, you're fine. This one, I'm just kind of itching to tell you guys. It's called Old Fashioned. It's also in limited theaters. It's a former frat boy and a free-spirited woman together attempt the impossible. An old-fashioned courtship in contemporary America. It's to contrast...
So The Graduate?
It's to contrast 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is just like,
As
hi,
Elizabeth Roberts
I think
and
you're
Rick
attractive, so
Swartz
it's
Wilbur.
totally fine if you tie me up and beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Basically. Which everyone has their own business, but from the reading, I mean, isn't it kind of a weird portrayal of gender roles as still existing in a concrete way? Like, I don't know. I just don't appreciate
Isn't it written by a woman, though?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then
so they're just playing
here-
into that stereotype then. Shame.
That's kind of how I felt about it, but I don't know.
And then what's in theaters right now
Okay.
is American Sniper, Paddington, Project Almanac, Black
yeah.
or White, The Boy Next Door, The Wedding Ringer, The Imitation Game, Taken 3, Strange Magic, which I might take my sister to go see.
What's that? Is that
Is
that?
that's a George Lucas movie, I think.
Oh,
That's
that
the
was
movie that you guys compared
we-
to
we-
the other Pixie
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And The Loft.
Oh, Loft is actually based off of a short, and it has like who's the Prison Break dude?
As Carl Urban,
Chickless?
James
No, that's The Shield.
Marsden, Wentworth Miller, and
Wentworth
Eric
Miller.
Stonestreet.
Wentworth Miller. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's about 5 married guys conspire to secretly share a penthouse loft in a city, a place where they can carry out hidden affairs and indulge in their deepest fantasies. But the fantasy becomes a nightmare when they discover the dead body of an unknown woman left in the loft, and they realize one of the group must be involved.
Yeah.
That actually sounds kind of interesting.
It was
The
actually a really
Loft.
cool short film, so check it out. Are you guys ready to play IMDb Idiots?
I'm always ready.
All right. Get your smart
Ever
devices.
since I learned how to read.
Yes, get your smart
Last
devices
year.
ready, because we are ready to go.
All right, I'm pulling this thing up here. That's what she said. I don't know.
Shelby, are you ready?
I guess.
Well, get in the game.
I
You can
always
win.
lose.
You can win. This first
I'm
film
such a sore loser.
was directed. For those of you who do not know how IMDb Idiots is played, first off, let me explain. I'm going to list off some facts about a movie, and then these two or you have to find out what movie I am talking about.
Never guess. Just stay quiet.
Yeah.
Just sit on your end of the couch and keep your mouth shut.
One of the rules
I've heard that
is
before.
after one person guesses, if they are wrong, then they are out, and the other person must immediately guess. But if that person gets it wrong as well, then we continue to play until there is a winner. So, the first movie Up that we're going to talk about is directed by Kevin Reynolds, Reynolds.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is based on a novel.
The Count of Monte Cristo.
Very good. Shelby's Up.
I love that movie. I love it. And,
Oh, it's great.
Ooh, that main character.
Jim Caviezel or something. The guy
Yes.
who played Jesus.
Jim Caviezel.
He
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you right
So
now,
is Guy Pearce.
I am so pissed at you that it wasn't Waterworld. So go ahead. Continue.
My bad. All right. The next movie Up is directed by Martin Campbell.
Okay.
It is based on the stories by Ted Elliott and Johnston Macaulay, my apologies, created the main characters. It stars Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Oh,
Zorro.
Mask of Zorro.
She said Mask of Zorro. And
I
that's
got a
tech-
word out first.
So, holy crap, Shelby's up 2-0. She needs one
Well,
more, and she could run away with this.
well, if we're gonna play fast and loose with the rules, then that's fine.
Well, you can't just say parts of a title and expect to get it.
I think you know what I mean. They counted on Family Feud. I'll put it that way.
All right.
Steve Harvey counts everything.
This next and possibly last film that we discuss is directed and written by Wes Anderson.
Well,
Isn't that a lot of movies?
Yes.
it's a few.
And it stars, as most of them do, Owen Wilson and Bill Murray and Willem Dafoe and Jeff Goldblum.
Again, that could be multiple.
Like I said, that's like every single one of them.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to start getting into narrowing it down. Kate Blanchett, Angelica Houston, Michael Gambon.
Is it... Oh,
Remember, you only get one guess, so make sure.
no.
I know. That's what I don't want to mess that up because of the one guess
Uh,
thing.
Waris Ulawalia.
What
I'm gonna
did
go
you
ahead
just say
and
to
guess.
me? Life Aquatic.
That's what I was gonna guess!
With Steve
God damn
Zissou.
it.
Do I have to do the whole fucking thing, Andrew?
I was stretching,
I
but
hate
yes.
you! I was so close!
All right. So the next movie.
I had to narrow it down based on
I
those
hate you. Shut
exact
up.
participants.
Yeah.
Watch it, Shelby. That's not very heartwarming.
I hate you. I've done my research.
I've done my research
I've
and
read
I
out
hate
of
you.
spite. and I hate
I've read out of spite, and you can go to hell. That's
So
what she's
this
basically
next
saying right now.
movie Up is directed by Peter Weir. Weir.
Speaking of the name Weir, has... do you guys know, Freaks and Geeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know Sam Weir.
Yeah.
And the guy who plays Sam Weir, John Francis Daly.
Isn't he in a show or something
He's
now?
in Bones.
Yeah, I knew he was in a
Except
show.
for now, spoiler alert, his character dies.
Oh, that's sad.
I didn't even know. I saw it online and I, cried. He's my favorite.
Not anymore.
He's still my favorite. Lance Sweets is my favorite character, but
He
also
was my favorite.
the reason why they didn't plan his killing off his character, but he is going to.
Well, then they shouldn't have written it.
No, he got offered a director's position.
So he's like, yes, I
and
gotta
that was
leave.
his dreams. Yeah, so they let him go. And
Well, good for him.
All right, now whatever. You
So, yeah, it's directed by Peter Weir, and it's written by Andrew Niccol, Niccol.
Andrew Niccol.
It is
The Truman Show.
Brian got there first.
God damn it!
It's 2-2.
I was already on it. You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
It feels good. Feels good in my heart.
Last movie. Are you guys ready?
I'm gonna throw up.
You mean ready to blow a 2-0 lead, Shelby? Are you ready for that?
I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
This
She's going to be like speeding and punching the dashboard all the way to Columbia.
This movie is directed and written by Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, I love him.
On IMDb's top 250 movies of all time, it is number 122.
Pan's Labyrinth.
Brian wins!
Yeah! Oh! Physical violence has broken out in the podcast. It's turned from see it to feel it.
Oh,
the pain.
I think we should make an announcement that we are possibly going through a remodeling of the podcast. We may be changing the name and all that stuff. We may be getting our own website and everything. So
on the internet.
We might be getting that website. It's not just going to be a newspaper and we're going to call it a website. So stay tuned for that. Nothing is official yet, but it looks like things might be heading that way. So thank you for listening to this episode of the See It Podcast. We will catch you next time on episode 41. Thank you again for listening. You can find us on Twitter at @C_it_podcast. You can find us on YouTube at /See It Podcast. Thank you to Podomatic for giving out the content that gets delivered to all the podcast software like iTunes and Google Play. Brian, plug away at your baseball podcast.
Yes, we're the backup catcher. We've started fantasy baseball previews by position because it's almost that time. You can download our content from standgraphs.com, also on iTunes, also through basically anywhere you can download a podcast. Once again, thanks to Podomatic. Also, we have a Facebook.
Yeah. I don't really talk about our Facebook page because I never update it anymore.
I don't either.
Yeah, so all right, we will catch you next time. Until then, peace out.
Bye.